As promised, we are going to take last week's thought record journal type of thing just one step further, and we're actually going to talk about how we can change our thoughts. So if you have been noticing some not so helpful thought patterns over the past few days or weeks, and you've been wondering, what the heck do I do now? Then stay tuned. First and foremost, I want to review just a smidge about neuroplasticity. Now, I have mentioned this topic in past videos, so if you haven't watched those or if you are already feeling like a pro with neuroplasticity, no worries, all good, more power to ya. I have provided some links, some chapter links down in the description, so go ahead and skip on through if you'd like to. Alrighty, so for those of you still with me, neuroplasticity is a big word that basically just means that our brains can change. When thoughts come across our mind, they are oftentimes automatic thoughts, and automatic thoughts are not always super helpful. Automatic thoughts are just like they sound. They're automatic, and when they're automatic, we just don't really have that much control over them. They are the brain's automatic response to our current situation, based on our beliefs, our perceptions, our past experiences, and in general, they're based on our worldview, our very unique worldview. And because these thoughts come from our worldviews, it's pretty likely that we've been thinking these types of automatic thoughts or something similar to these automatic thoughts since we were very young. And when we think a thought, a lot of times, just with how the brain operates, it has its own neural pathway. And when we think it a lot of times, that neural pathway is really big. It's really easy to travel, aka it's really easy to think that thought. But the cool thing about our brain is that when we are aware of these not so helpful automatic thoughts, we actually have the choice to change them or tweak them based on what we know to be true. And we can realign our type of thinking with what we know to be true, as well as with our values, the things that we find to be really important for us. There are actually a lot of different techniques out there, even just under the umbrella of cognitive behavioral therapy, that can be helpful for challenging or changing our thoughts. Since there are so many techniques out there that can help us do this thing, change our thoughts, challenge our thoughts, yada yada, I can't fit them all into one video. It would be way too long, probably pretty boring. So I'm going to just break these down into 4 general concepts so you kind of get the idea. The first concept is all about truth. Are my thoughts true? What is the evidence for this thought? What is the evidence against this thought? What's really going on here? And that one alone can kind of give us a good idea of, do I need to do a little bit more work? Would it be helpful for me to change this thought, or at least try to? The second concept is about helpfulness. Is this thought actually being helpful to me? Or is this a thought that doesn't feel too good? Maybe it's even harming me. It's making me anxious or depressed or feeling hopeless. The third concept is looking at perspectives and really looking at other alternate perspectives. What are some other perspectives that if I were to take them, maybe they would make a little bit more sense? Maybe they would have a bit more truth or be aligned with my values, and maybe they would even make me feel better. Concept number 4 is looking at thought patterns. Does my thought fall into one of the typical unhelpful thought patterns? And if you missed the video that I did where I explained all the different thought patterns, you can find that one here. Over my next few videos, I'm going to go into detail with a few other types of techniques that can help us to challenge or change or just become curious about our thoughts, and ultimately to realign them with what we know to be true and with our values. And I'll cover them in more detail, so I'll do one video for one technique so you can get a pretty good idea of how you can use them in your own daily life. Now, we've actually already covered one of them. It's called Socratic questioning. I mentioned it in a video when I was talking about anxiety techniques in general, but really Socratic questioning, which really is just asking our thoughts questions, we can use this for any time that we're having an unhelpful thought. Next week, I'm going to go over a concept called decatastrophizing. Now, this is super helpful for times when we are thinking in those worst case scenarios, aka when we are catastrophizing. So we'll go through that process and just learn how to use it. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and the little bell so you don't miss out on these upcoming techniques that could possibly have some cool life-changing effects for you just in your daily life. So I'll see you next time.